What is the obsession with Americans and their cars? I just don't get it. Because I've seen people online now, repo slots full. I see people with bad credit getting repoed. I see everybody, you got to get a nice car and all this other stuff. And I just don't get it. From somebody from Europe, you guys got to explain to me as a new American, why do I need a new car? What is up with all that? Because I'm going to show you two videos and it's absolutely crazy. And everybody's like, oh, nice car, nice car. That is just a piece of metal that gets you from point A to point B. That's why I still drive my 6-year-old Ford Mustang and convertible, and I don't have a nicer car now because it just gets me from point A to point B. So let's watch a video of something that is absolutely insane. When I saw this, I was like, that can't be right, but no, it's true. Let's watch it.
I know you guys are probably curious to see what happens when you go to the dealership and you're a 500 score. Let me show you. So you guys let me know if you see that 29.99%, 72 months, 476 a month. And as you can see on the top, this is a 2020 Hyundai Elantra. Yes, it is signed because I sell cars. This is the exact car that we're moving forward with. This one has 37,000 miles on it. So many people question my scenarios when I make my videos and try to explain that, if your score's in the 500s, low fives, your interest rate is going to be over 25%. The reason I say that is because it's true, and I just showed you guys the proof. Now, as soon as my client came in, she already told me from the jump that she had bad credit, and what we did is we got right to work to see what car we could get her in. There was one bank, and there was one car, and this just so happened to be the one. Because she had some issues with her previous car loan in the past, I told her this one's extremely important. You got to get your foot back in the door. Make these payments on time so they could see that you know how to make a payment. The last thing I told her was to make sure that she made some payments towards the principal because I don't want her paying on this thing forever. I want her to get that balance down.
Holy macaroni. How does anybody walk out of a car dealership and not feel raped and taken advantage of? This is literally the worst thing that I've seen online today. I was like, holy shit. How can you let somebody pay 29.9% interest on a car loan? That is, I have credit cards that have a lower percentage if you carry a balance. And this person financed a car for 29% interest with $1,000 down. So I did the math for you. Let's look at the math. So down payment 1,000, the loan term 72 months. The annual percentage rate is 29.9%. So the monthly payment is $476. So now, how much do you think that this woman is paying in interest over the term of the loan if she doesn't make bigger payments? And most likely she's not going to make bigger payments because she only has $1,000 down, right? So she's going to pay approximately $27,000 in interest only. So you're basically handing somebody a $27,000 paycheck if you're going to keep it and for the term of the loan. So now, how much was the car, right? You're like, huh, how much was the car? Well, the car was, when you deduct all that, it was about almost $17,000. So this is absolutely crazy. So now, what are we going to calculate? We're going to calculate 16,000, so 17,000 plus 27. So that is an absolute tremendous amount that she is actually financing. So 27,000 plus the 16,000. So she's going to pay about $45,000 for a $16,000 car. That is insane. I mean, who as your car salesman, I mean, yeah, you got to make money somehow, but man, this dealership, holy smokes, they're laughing it to the bank. They better send you gift cards. They better send you happy birthday cards. They better send you Domino's. When you're hungry, you better call them up and say, can you deliver food to me to your house? And then they're like, sure, we got you, because that is absolutely insanity. But it's not only that. So I got another video that I want to share with you guys. And yeah, let's look at that. Holy smokes, this is just, the world is just getting nuts.
All these tickets are repos. All right, just got to the auction. We're at the repo lot checking out all these tickets. Look at this. All these are bank repossessions. As far as your eyes can see, all of these are a manifestation of bad financial decisions, over leveraging credit and budget. And unfortunately, it ends up in a lot like this, where it's going to be sold at auction, cycle back into the car market at a fraction of the cost. 2025 Toyota Camry repo. Suburbans, Audis, Toyotas, Ram 3500s, Jeeps, a bunch of luxury cars, 2024 Kia Telluride with only 16,000 miles repoed. Dealer charged $3,000 for a thorough inspection and reconditioning fee and $1,000 for interior protection, which is an additional $4,000 on an already inflated MSRP of $47,380. On a car like this, I guarantee you out the door is right around $60,000. If you had decent credit, you had probably a 13 to 15% interest loan, a car like this would be easily over $1,000. And don't even forget your car insurance. This Mercedes still has a temp tag on it and got repoed. 2019 Mercedes C300. Definitely seen better days. Hot sauce and duck sauce all up in here. But no financial sauce for whoever got that car repoed. Again, this lot is a manifestation of people who don't really understand what they're getting themselves into. They over-leverage their financial situation, they over-leverage their credit situation. So to prevent you being in this lot, please understand your financial situation, your credit situation, shop around the deal, and never ever accept anything that you do not understand. Because I guarantee you this lot is filled with payments that are 3 to 4 times what the vehicle should be worth monthly. 2024 Hyundai repoed, 2024 Hyundai repoed, Toyota Camry repo. So again, please understand your credit situation, your financial situation, and budget correctly when buying a new or used vehicle, because rates are astronomically high and the car market will never reset if the consumers keep buying into this high interest loan, high payment auto loans that are predatory, and all they will care about is getting into a vehicle. So I understand situations can be difficult, situations can be unique, but in most cases, please plan for the midterm and future.
Okay, so if you haven't, please like and subscribe. I do videos like this all the time, and I love chatting with you guys, so please hit that like and subscribe button, because I know 80% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you're sitting in a car dealership and somebody's going to talk to you about 20% interest, this is as close as it's going to come to somebody peeing in your face and telling you it's raining. Don't do it. Don't do it. The money you're going to waste is just absolutely crazy. And one thing that I've noticed is a bunch of people across the United States just say, oh, let me just get into the car and let me extend the long term, let me just do this, let me do that. And then they don't see what's actually buried in it, what's buried in the fine print. They'll present to you exactly what their first video is, and you say, oh, I can make a $500 a month payment, but they don't know how long it's for, what the interest is, and all this other stuff. And that's how they get you. That's how you're going to stay broke. Because if you're going to look at the fine print and you're going to look at it, you're paying in nonsense fees. This is what's going to really screw you when you're going to try to retire, because you just gifted somebody $27,000. You just gifted somebody all that money that you had. Yeah, it might got repoed and you got all this other stuff, and then they'll tack on the repo fees and to all this crazy stuff. So it is absolutely not worth it. It is not worth you driving a new car. It's not worth you doing that. Get a small little beater car and just start off there. And if somebody says something, just be like, sorry, this doesn't mean that much to me. And I remember when I was in my early 20s, these things used to mean a lot to me. Like the cars, all this stuff used to mean so much to me. It's like, oh my gosh, this person's really successful. Now, when I could go and finance any car I pretty much want, I'm not doing it. It just doesn't mean that much to me anymore. It's just like my values changed. I value different things. I value freedom. I value other stuff. But there's so many Americans that associate nice cars with success, and then they get these nicer cars, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is success. This is what success looks like. This is what people do when they come to money. But then what people don't realize is that not every time that you get money, it's going to stay like that. Situations change, and just because you're making more and more every year doesn't mean that you should spend more and more every year. Because once something happens to you and you keep spending more and more and more, and your lifestyle just keeps creeping up and up and up with your pay raises, you're staying the same amount of broke. Just your things get nicer. And one thing that I've learned is, at what point are you going to say that things own you rather than you own things, right? I'm looking at my house and it's pretty big and pretty nice. But at what point is that my house would get too big that I'm like, hey, it's going to own me because it's already a lot of maintenance. All kinds of stuff is associated with it. And now I'm like, yeah, I don't want a bigger house because I've been looking with my realtor the other day and it's like, hey, I could sell and make some pretty decent cash and get something else. But then I was like, oh no. Then the nicer the things get, more maintenance. You need to keep it up. And then you have more people at your house because you can't do everything. And yeah, or then you got to have your wife or husband go out and work all day so you can take care of the house. So at what point are you going to say less is more, because it allows you to do more flexibility. It allows you to go travel, do things. But when you're going to basically give $27,000 to the bank, that's a really nice trip to Europe a few times and say, you know what, I can fly business class because I don't got those car payments. So you gotta be doing the right thing. And I know everybody likes these flashy things, but at the end of the day, what do they get you? If you really want to get it out of your system, go and rent one. Go to Hertz, rent one for the week, and say, you know what, I really want to drive a BMW. Then you go to Sixt, you rent one, and you get it out of your system, and they give you unlimited miles. You drive it from wherever, from LA to Tahoe and back, and say, you know what, I've driven it now and I'm good. And then you get back into your cheaper car and just be like, yep, this is just as good as any other car. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you got to do maintenance, and yeah, the transmission might go out and all this other stuff. Then you upgrade to a pretty reliable one. But going out and buying a brand new one where you're going to be buried for 60, 70, 84 months, that's not worth it. Or tell me in the comments below when it's worth it to bury yourself in a car like that when you don't have that much money. And I know people are going to say, you know, you're fortunate enough to do all this other things. I got fortunate enough because I drove beater cars. I used to drive Ford C-Maxes that were like, I went to CarMax and got them for like $10,000, $12,000, and that's what I drove. Was it the flashiest car? No, but that's how you start. You drive these little shitter cars, and then like 4 years ago, I got my Mustang, and I'm making more money now, so I could 100% upgrade. I could do pretty much drive whatever I want, but it's just not worth it. I see these videos online all the time where, oh, my life situation changed. I need to get out of my car loan. Oh, I'm $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 upside down on my car loan. And then how much do you have saved? Oh, $3,000. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. You need to take out a personal loan, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And so it's like, no, it's nice, but it's just not worth it. And if you're about to do something like that, you got to be really confident that this is what you're going to be working for. Because when you look at how long your life is, and this is just me looking at everybody around me, and when I tell you, you got about 80 years to live on this planet, how many years are you going to work for your car? So if this person with the 500 credit score is going to pay for 72 years, or 72 months, sorry, if they're going to work, let's say, a year for that car, or 1.5 years to just go to work every day to pay for that car, is it worth it to you to drive that nicer car rather than just getting into one that costs maybe $5,000 and say, you know what, I'm gonna just beat it up and I'm just gonna ride that car? Because when you look at Jeff Bezos, when he was like a billionaire, he was driving like a Honda Civic or something super crazy. So you gotta be smart with your money. Your income is the biggest financial tool to set you up for retirement, to set you up for your future. And I know people say, what if I'm never gonna make it? Well, then you don't need to worry about it. And I'm glad you got that car, because if you're not gonna make retirement age, but you're gonna make it. But that's not most of us. Most of us will make it to retirement. And yeah, and trust me, it's gonna be brutal when you're gonna be working when you're 70, you have joint pains, you're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you're gonna have to be working, and you don't want to because you made poor decisions when you were younger. Rather than saying, you know what, let me just buy a shitty Nissan, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna invest the difference. I'm gonna put it in an index fund, and I'm just gonna let that grow. And guess what? Compound interest is just gonna shoot you into retirement. But when you talk to people like that, they'll get offended. It's almost like politics. When you tell people, you maybe shouldn't do that. Then they say, oh, you know, it's almost like trying to convince a Republican about a Democrat opinion and a Democrat about a Republican opinion. It just closed down, it goes dark, and you'll see it. It's like, oh boy. And, you know, at the end of the day, you need to be in charge of your own finances. And you need to start saying, hey, maybe I need to set myself up for success. Because if you're living in the United States, you have opportunities. You have so many opportunities that you can take. It's almost like paralyzing to see how many opportunities there are and you can bounce on. You just have to put yourself out there. But yeah, getting into car debt like that is tremendous. It's gonna hurt you for such a long time. So be careful and find something that fits your budget, that fits your lifestyle, and get the credit score up. People say, oh, you shouldn't do credit and all this kind of other stuff. And I somewhat agree, because an uncertain amount of debt over the long period of time is probably not the smartest. But hey, if you got the income to do it and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna pull the trigger and I'm done, then go and do it. But make sure that you invest into your retirement, into your family. And I don't think a car is gonna do that for you. And yeah, it could take you to Tahoe or you can take it to the beach. But hey, you don't want to be at the beach being like, oh my gosh, this rust bucket, I just hope a wave comes and sweeps it out because it just costs too much. And yeah, you saw the car lot. There's hundreds of them, hundreds of them. So let me know what you guys think about this. This is like crazy. This is, I think, a pure American phenomenon. I don't know. You guys let me know. If you're from a different country and you're from Japan and all these other countries, does that seem crazy to you or not at all? And it's like, yeah, this is just crazy America. I don't know. I'm just new American, so I don't know, but I think it's absolutely nuts. And let me know in the comments below. If you haven't, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.